The separation that we see, what we call as duality, separation between the different beings, the me and you, okay, objects and the subject. These are all is a part of grand illusion called Maya. The reality is pure consciousness. Consciousness alone is there. Alone was there. The consciousness, when it tried to cease itself, so the duality arises because there is no other. The concepts keep arising because you are trying to see yourself. It's like a knife trying to cut itself. It cannot. Knife can cut anything else, but it cannot cut itself. Then if it tries to cut itself, it has to bend. So when the consciousness tries to see itself or understand itself, there's a concept, the multiplicity of concepts, and the feeling of world and creation. There's nothing. These are all concepts superimposed on the consciousness only. So how do you come out of this duality? It's not that I will get a non-dual experience. It's not a separate experience. Okay, whatever experience we have, so that experience of life, we look closely, understand the essence of the experience, then everything is non-dual only. So the mind creates a feeling of duality, but if you look closely, and as I look closely, pay attention, there's no non-dual, there's no duality. So this is actually going beyond the experience to experience to seek the non-duality, but it doesn't mean that it's getting one more experience. Okay, every experience belongs to the category of the mind. Mind is nothing but a concept. It's rising and falling. So you have to go beyond the experience by looking at the experience closely, understanding the nature of experience, and then understanding the underlying non-dual aspect of life. So only non-duality, once we that is called insight, understanding. Insight is called insight. It doesn't mean that people start thinking that I should get something, some more experience. No, all experiences are temporary in nature. They rise and fall. They all belong to the mind category of mind. Mind is nothing but a concept which is arising in consciousness. So the concepts are not lasting. Concepts will keep on changing, but reality doesn't change. Like water, ocean, and wave. The waves keep rising and falling, but nothing happens to the ocean. Ocean is there or not, nothing happens to the water because water is the underlying reality. The underlying reality of all our experience is non-duality. Okay, so that can be realized only in a silent state because silence is silence of the mind. Mind is nothing but a concept generating engine. It keeps on generating concepts. When the mind becomes silent, in the deep silence, the self alone is there in all as a background of all experiences. Okay. So traditionally people have tried various methods, various techniques for going beyond these experiences. People change their lifestyle, go to the forest, monastery, or do some rigorous practices. In reality, this is all not required. In the sense, they may be helpful for those people, but essentially, you should learn how to make your mind silent. Okay, and any force to make the mind silent also is again counterproductive because that also comes from the mind. The mind has to become naturally silent. How can mind become naturally silent? You have to look at your day-to-day experiences and see the underlying non-dual aspect of it. The insight develops. The insight helps the mind to make silent. The insight has to develop. Now the insight is not learned or acquired. Insight has to be your own insight. How do you acquire insight? By paying attention to the underlying experience. So once you pay attention, there's of course constant interference from the mind, memories, concepts, thoughts will keep on interfering when you pay attention. Gradually you start learning how to pay attention, then experience then be in the non-dual state. As long as there is duality, there is always a conflict. As long as there is a duality, there is a stress. The non-duality is something you have to, I can't say we have to get it, we have to you can't develop it also. It's already there actually. You have to just recognize it. It's actually called recognition, not acquiring, not getting, or not getting a new experience. Non-dualism, no, not a new experience. That is a state of silence of the mind. In the silence of the mind, there is no me and you. There is no separation. There is no oneness also, because there oneness and separation, all these are mental concepts. So you have to reach that state. That is what's called mukti or liberation. Freedom from the concepts superimposed on the self. So there are actually the jnana approach is more direct approach, the approach of jnana. That's what Sri Ramana Maharshi says. I inquire who am I? Because on the self, the lot of concepts are superimposed. The moment I say I, actually I can mean millions of things: husband, wife, okay, the office, the profession, okay, and also time period. I was young, I am old. So it can mean millions of things. It's all superimposed on the I. So this superimposition is called what I call personality, is superimposed. So once you go below the personality, this pure I shining, it's like sun shining hidden in the cloud. So that is real self, and that is the world. That is Brahman. That's what you are. So to go beyond these concepts is what is called Jnana. Now in Jnana approach, you pay attention to yourself, okay, and examine the underlying non-dual aspect of our day-to-day life, and that's called direct approach. So Ramana Maharshi says, who am I? That means who are you? So you have a concept of I. So just inquire, and when you say who are you, so go to the source of the thought called I. That means pay attention to where the I thought is coming from. That's self. So that's the same way Atmajnana Krishna Menon, he gives a method of enquiry, Vichara. By inquiring into nature of our experiences, day-to-day experiences, you go beyond the day-to-day experiences. These are all called direct path or Vichara Marga. As against Yoga Marga, where you have to do some practices. Here there's not much of practice involved other than a bit of paying, or rather not bit of, paying attention to the underlying reality. Examining our day-to-day experiences. It is a natural, simple process. Like everything else, human mind makes it complicated, makes it appear grandiose. Okay, so start creating layers and layers of aura around what you call non-duality and realization and all. So you end up in going nowhere. So the direct approach told by Ramana Maharshi, Atmajnana Krishna Menon, is more applicable to our life. We can straight away apply it in our life and practice a bit of vipassana or silence. So this will actually free us from the duality. So Jnana is not acquiring some new knowledge. Jnana is not acquiring, stuffing you with more knowledge. Jnana is actually paying attention. Okay, our attention gets distracted by a lot of memories and thoughts and impressions. So paying attention, okay, using your intellect, directing your attention to the source of life, source of our existence. Looking at the underlying aspect of phenomena. The phenomena is world, right? If you look at the world is also a superimposition on the self. The self alone is the reality. So that we have to come to. We have to get established in the truth. The self is called Brahman, and all names are actually, we don't have to get bogged down by names. Nobody can define self, nobody can understand self, but you know that you are the self. Any definition, it is beyond any concepts and definitions. But we are bounded by concepts and definitions. The self is buried under layers and layers of concepts and definitions. For example, when I see the world, what I am seeing? I am seeing through my sense organs and body. So the sense organs and body are limited in conditioning. So then what I am seeing is unconditioned aspect of that I never be able to see. So that is what is unconditioned aspect? That is consciousness, my own self. Similarly, when I say myself, I, that again is buried under a lot of concepts, names, forms, names and roles and responsibilities and all those things. If you go to pure underlying I, it's free from any of this. It's pristine. It is self-luminous. And no world thoughts can express it. But you can realize it because you are already that. So the whole of process of spirituality or realization is recognizing what you are not, recognizing all superimpositions, getting rid of superimpositions.
So this